here's me, the angel Gabriel, face to face with me, and I'm doing this. And I'm seeing this light coming from this form, like different colors of light reflecting off of it. And it's just standing there. But there's an angel, another angel speaking to it. And it had a clipboard and it was just standing there at such attention, like not moving. And so I'm going like this and I'm noticing it and I'm like, wait a minute, is that me? And I looked and I started to notice that it looked like me. I heard the Father. He was still standing behind me on my right side. And he said, in just this sweet, calm, loving voice, it sounded like he was proud that I noticed. I could tell he had a smile on his face. He said, that is you. That's me? And I looked again and I was still afraid to zoom in because this was the biggest factor of my disbelief. It was so perfect. That form was so perfect, so beautiful. It was emanating these beautiful colors. These lights was reflecting off of it, but it looked just like me. It had the way I wore my hair at the time. It looked just like me. I couldn't believe it. And it was just so beautiful and so perfect. And he said, that is you. And he was smiling. And I said, that's me. And, I couldn't believe it. I said, okay. And I looked again, and at this time, the angel Gabriel moved aside again so I could get a more clear view. And I looked, and the more I looked, the more perfect it looked. I just could not believe that something so beautiful and so perfect could have anything to do with me. Because at this time, I was still that 4-year-old little girl, broken, just wanting love from her mom. It was so many times where I wanted my mom to choose me and my sisters over her drug addiction. I wanted my father to see me. So I was that broken little girl in a 26-year-old body. And I knew that I wasn't perfect because in my mind, I'm saying, well, if I was, and all the, throughout the years growing up, if I was worthy of love, then my mom would have chose me over drugs. She would have loved me. My dad would have seen me, loved on me more. So I said, okay, that's me. And then, like I said, the more I looked at it, I couldn't receive it. It was like I would get to a point and I was like, okay, it looks just like me. And then I would say, no, that's not me. That can't be me. And I actually said, because it's too beautiful. It's too perfect. And then I heard the Father the second time. He said it really like with surety. It was like he was saying, stop fighting me, stop arguing with me. He said, that is you. And I said, it's me. And he made me see closer. And as I was looking closer, the angel that was speaking to this form, he was reading. I saw enough to what the details that was on this scroll, this clipboard, and he was reading off all of these like declarations that you will do this, you will do this, you will do this. And there were hundreds of them. And the form was saying, yes, everyone. It didn't say, well, how, when, where, but it was an attention. And the angel was pouring into that form all of the things that will come to pass when it was time. And so he was just reading off one by one. There was hundreds of them. I actually thought this out loud. I said, how am I going to remember to do all that? Keep in mind, it's like when you look in a mirror and you see your own reflection, that's you. That's how I was seeing this form. It was no reason why I should have been saying that wasn't me. But I just couldn't receive that it had anything to do with me because it was so perfect and so beautiful. And then the third time I heard the Father, he said it. This time he said it and I felt that rushing water again. And he said, that is you. And when he said that, the force, the power of his voice, it pushed me into that body, that form. It was like, soon as he said it is you, and I popped into that form and I put it on. And when I was in there, me, my earthly personality, it was transformed. I can't tell you what the conversation was, why I had put on that form. But all I know is I was speaking to the angel Gabriel in that language that I had heard when I first got there, that language that sounded like music, which was later revealed to me, to be the word of God. That is why I couldn't understand it. When I first got there, all I knew is it sounded like this beautiful music, but it was actually words, but I could not perceive them. I could not understand what they were saying. And I was trying so hard to say, what are they saying? What does that mean? What are they talking? What is that language? When I had put on that form, I was speaking that language as if it was like the only language I had ever known. And I was hearing it and I was amazed. God put his hand in that form and he pulled my soul out. He pulled me out. And as he was pulling me out, I heard like the remnants of the conversation that I was having with the angel Gabriel in that language. And I heard me say his name, and his name was Gabriel, but in the language that we were speaking, it didn't sound like Gabriel. I knew that it's spelled with 24 characters. This is the knowledge that I had. It was just like a knowing. It was like his name sounds different when you say it in this language, but you know it to be the angel Gabriel as we know it to be written in the word of God. But his name in heaven is spelled with 24 characters or letters. His name is written with using 24 characters or 24 letters, but I could hear it, how it sounded, but we can't speak it. We can't in that language that I heard. It's like our vocal cords are limited. We can't sound like how I heard it there.